commercials and the different TV series he's had over the years.
He's got a lot of.
I don't know.
He has a lot of horses, so they
and they eat a lot of hay. You gotta pay for that hay.
Horses are very hungry animals. Yeah.
They are.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, they know how to eat those horses.
I'm being serious.
They winnie you into
Caviar.
poverty. Yeah, I'm telling you.
All right, so I am Rob. You are Greg, and we are here with Mr. Moschitta.
Junior.
Junior.
Yes, please don't forget the junior. It's very important. Although my father's dead now. Dead. So it doesn't really matter about the junior, but
I'm very sorry to hear that.
I was sorry too. He was a great guy. I really miss him. But he died actually right after. It'll be September 21st will be 15 years because he died right after 9/11. He was so upset by everything that happened that he knew a lot of people that were killed and just whatever, and he just like freaked out and died. So bummer.
Very sorry to hear that.
So let's start on a cheery note.
So we're done here. No.
Would you like to know anybody else that died in my family? When we I know I brought it up. You didn't ask me did anyone die, but
Correct me if I'm wrong. You're from Brooklyn, aren't you?
no, Long Island.
Oh.
Well, but Brooklyn's on Long Island. I was born in Jamaica Hospital. Then I lived in New Hyde Park, Levittown. I have a twin sister, and the people that lived behind us in Levittown were. I don't remember, I was little, but like evidently a drunk couple who fought a lot, and one day they chased each other around with guns, and they shot at each other, and the bullets came through the back of our house into like right above the wall, right above where our cribs were. So my parents said, okay, it's time we need to move now. So then we moved to Uniondale, and then that's where I lived for the rest of the time I lived with them, was in the house in Uniondale.
Oh, man. So wait, so you have a twin sister. Does she also speak very
She talks
rapidly?
pretty fast. I have 5 sisters altogether, which is one of the reasons why I
Well,
talk
there
so
you
quickly
go.
in the first place, because you got to get word in edgewise. But yeah, she's she can speak pretty fast. They all do pretty fast. My sisters are all very, very funny. They're characters, and we're all J's: John, Joan, Judy, Jill, Jane, and Joy. And Joy is spelled Joye, so she would have 4 letters.
Nice. Well, right, yeah.
Yeah, because
Symmetry.
you have to have that.
Maybe I'm wrong. I almost think you have to come, because we're from northern New Jersey, Newark area. You almost have to come from that, grow up in that area to be able to do what you do. Because we all talk really fast.
No, it's true. I mean, I go to New York. No one has a problem keeping up with me. I can talk as quickly as I possibly want to, and no problem. I go down south, call up to make, New York, you make a dinner reservation. You say, the name is Moschitta. I'm like Michael O, S like Sam, C like CHIT, like Tom, T like Tom, A. And they go, fine, Mr. Moschitta, we'll see you at 8 o'clock. I said, okay, great, thank you very much, goodbye. You go down south, you go, yes, it's Moschitta. M like Michael, O, S like Sam. Take your time, spell the whole thing, and then they go, okay, now that was what?
Yeah, just stay up north.
Yeah, just leave them in the dust.
Like I said, we grew up with your work, so we are very appreciative, and this is very surreal for us. Can you tell us about your experience working on the Transformers, or do you have any standout memories?
Well, the Transformers, in the beginning, I was traveling a lot. I was very busy back in those days, so I didn't get to do a lot of the group sessions, which was really a bummer, because those guys were fun. Dick Gautier and Roger C. Carmel, and I mean, all the original guys were just really, you're a bunch of grown men sitting in a room talking about your struts melting. I mean, come on, it was great.
I heard Welker was particularly riotous in there.
It was hysterical. It was a big party. And I loved doing it with them, but unfortunately I didn't get to do too many of them. And then, later on I got to do more. And then on the last version, I guess that's the animated one, I don't know, I got to do the group sessions. And that was a whole different group of people.
Right.
But it was like Mark Hamill and, all these, I was like, hey, this is fun.
What was your experience like in the original animated movie? Was that a group session?
They did some of the people group, some of the people individual. And I was flying back and forth between coasts, so I just did it by myself.
Okay. So you didn't meet Orson Welles?
No,
or
I didn't get to watch him. I didn't get to see him eat the universe or anything like that.
Was it, so for someone like, first of all, how did you break into show business?
Well, actually, I was always an actor, or I thought I was. It's like commercial where the waiter goes walking by and the kid goes, Mommy, look, an actor. So I was doing a lot of that to support myself. And I worked production in New York, and I got a job working in Columbus, Ohio as a producer-performer they had the world's first two-way interactive cable system called Cube. And it was the first time in the world. It was 1977. We went on the air December 1st, 1977 with 11 hours of live programming a day in Columbus, Ohio. Have any idea how easy it is to fill 11 hours a day in Columbus, Ohio? And also, Nickelodeon was just starting, and they filmed all the Nickelodeon shows there. So I had my own show on Nickelodeon 3 times a day, 7 days a week, called Nickel Flicks. Well, I did that for 2 years, and then I had it. And I was like, okay, that's enough. I got to get out of here. So then I moved out to L.A. and tried to become, an actor, and I actually got put on a PBS series. And I was at a party one night, and a friend of mine was trying to pick up this Valley girl, and she looked at him and said, like, oh my God, you must be like the world's fastest talker. And he said, no, as a matter of fact, this person is. And called me over, and I did to be or not to be, that was a question or something like that. And this man walked over and said, hi, my name is Alex Pomasanov. I am the producer of That's Incredible, and that's incredible. I want to put you on the show. And I said, you know what, I'm on a PBS show now, I'm really a serious actor, and while I think your show is very entertaining, I don't really think it'll advance my career for me to appear on a show where I follow a man who swallows a 30-foot python. So they kept calling me and kept offering more money. Then the acting strike came along, and nobody was working, and they called me and said, we'll pay you $5,000. I was like, I'll be there! And the show aired Thanksgiving 1980. And I sent out flyers to advertising agencies and all over the place, that I was going to be on it. And this one agency actually watched it and came up with the idea for use me for the Federal Express commercial from it. It was so bizarre because it aired Thanksgiving 1980, and by the following Tuesday, I was booked on the Johnny Carson Show, the Merv Griffin Show, the Mike Douglas Show. Tony Tennille had a talk show. I started negotiating for the Federal Express commercial and started negotiating a talent contract with ABC. All from being on That's Incredible.
Wow. That is incredible. How did you feel about that? Was that very...
Well, it was surreal. You're talking about surreal. I mean, I'm sitting here like, twiddling my thumbs I'm at home all the time, and all of a sudden the phone starts ringing, hi, this is, blah, blah, blah from The Tonight Show. I'm like, what? All right, who is this?
Why?
So, and then in the beginning, they would only let me talk about being in the Guinness Book. They wouldn't let me talk about being an actor or anything. They just wanted me to do, teach the host how to talk fast, give them tongue twisters. Be like, all right, whatever.
Was that just a natural skill to you?
Well, I actually, when I was 12 years old, growing up on Long Island, there was a cerebral palsy fair a few blocks away from my house, and they announced that they would donate $2,000 with cerebral palsy for anyone that broke a Guinness record. So first I wanted to ride the roller coaster at Coney Island. So I called Coney Island, and they said, hey, kid, take a hike. You're 12 years old. We are not going to let you strap yourself into the cyclone for 2 weeks straight. So I went home and I started flipping through the book and decided I wasn't going to eat a car, swallow lead pipe. So the next best thing was to lock myself in a room and teach myself how to do the fast talking.
Ah, very good. So after Transformers, did you pursue screen acting, or did you stick with the voice acting?
Well, no, I still do a bunch of voice acting. I do stuff on Robot Chicken, and I've done some voices on Family Guy and Adventure Time, and so I mean I love that because voice acting it's a great job. You don't have to shower, you don't have to shave, you just go in however, you roll out of bed, get in the car, you go to the studio, you say a few lines, and then you let the checks come in, and they run those things like crazy, so you get tons of residuals from them.
Wow.
So
for like
it's great.
A penny or what?
Well, actually, they get down to a penny. They had one time Transformers money. Now they let the Transformers reruns. They let you get like one check twice a year.
Okay.
But back then, I got 175 checks in a 2-day period, and they totaled $17.
Ah, nice. You had a lot of lines on it.
Well, they don't pay you by the line, unfortunately. They don't pay you by the word. If they paid me by the word, then that would be really good. But
they wouldn't be able to count it.
Yeah, no. So it just it was like, and the bank hated me because I would have to, you got to put them in. And when you thought, they send you these ridiculous checks. I have a check hanging on my wall for nothing. I work for this company. They pay you, when you do commercials, they pay you in 13-week cycles.
Okay.
So, and a normal contract is for 7 cycles, so it's 21 months. I usually only do commercials. They can only use them for a year, so it's 4 cycles. But I usually get the money up front because I'm like, I'm not going to sit around. Why should, you're using the commercial. So,
Sure.
So they paid me all the money, and then for the next 13 weeks, they sent me a check for nothing. I said, now you can't put a check for nothing in the bank. Their books are going to be so screwed up because there's going to be 3 missing checks.
Right.
Nobody's going to know where they are, and they're going to have some accountant doing an audit that is going to be ready to kill somebody.
Oh, well.
And I'm like, hey, come to my house. I'll show you where the check is. It's right on my wall.
So, did you, a silly question, but as a voice actor, did you ever walk into the cartoon set or whatever you call it, the studio, and you're looking at the different characters and you're like, I have to voice a robot or a car, or this is kind of silly, or do you get into it and
Well, you definitely get into it, but yes, no, you don't question it for a minute. You go, they're going to pay me, a man who is a grown man, to do a voice of a car now. Okay, well, all right, whatever,
Okay.
that's fine. Okay,
and
my
you
struts
go
are
with it.
melting, and they want me to go, ooh, ah, okay,
Right.
all right, that's fine.
and you just go along,
Yeah,
you
I could be digging
commit to
ditches.
it and-
You want me to sit in the room and go, oh, I'll do it. It's fine.
Right. Also, how does it feel? Does it feel weird that you're at these conventions and people go, "Oh my God, I grew up with you. We grew up with you," and you influenced a generation of people. Does that feel
Well,
weird?
it's really an ego boost. I got to tell you that, because you don't really realize. I mean, you do these things and you don't think anybody ever sees them or that it means anything to anybody. I certainly know with the Micro Machine commercials what that has meant to people, because Blurr, people don't necessarily recognize my face. But Micro Machines, I mean, I did 125 commercials that ran in 37 countries. So I literally can't go anywhere in the world where people don't know the Micro Machine Man. And
Unless you shave your mustache.
yeah, or
then
then,
you realize who you are.
I did, it's funny you say about my mustache, because I did Minute Rice commercials for a while. And they had, we negotiated the contract for a year. And they, back and forth, and flying me to New York, because they'd never done funny commercials. They'd always have been, gee, honey, whatever you did to this rice, please keep doing it. So they were a little nervous about making that housewives wouldn't go for humor in the commercials. So on the very first phone call, they asked my manager if I would shave my mustache. And my manager said, well, I don't know why you would want him to shave the mustache. He's known for the mustache.
Right.
As a matter of fact, my original mustache from Federal Express is in because they shaved my mustache. And said, no, we like you better with the mustache. So I wore a fake mustache, and it's in the Smithsonian.
wow.
So my mustache is famous.
That's
So,
surreal.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. They said, but if you want him to shave it, we have to take that into consideration because he works all the time. And everybody else on the planet wants him with a mustache. So he's not going to be able to grow the mustache back. He's going to have to keep wearing the fake mustache until he has a period of time. So that's going to cost you extra money. Okay, fine. Never mention it again. Months and months, flying me to New York for photomatics, animatics, testing this, doing that, auditioning wives, whatever. We finally come to the day to shoot the commercial. I'm sitting in the makeup chair. And it was a very lucrative job for me, so my manager was there with me, and the head of the Minute Rice brand comes into the room where I'm getting my makeup done, and he's an Indian gentleman. And he says, first of all, I want to tell you one serious thing here. We're not looking to make a funny commercial. We just want to sell the rice. And I'm like, well, what the hell did you hire me for? And then he said, and what about the mustache? I said, well, what about the mustache? No, you were supposed to shave the mustache. I said, no, you mentioned 2 years ago to shave the mustache and never talked about it again. He says, well, young dads wear the glasses and chefs don't have mustaches. I was like, okay, if you say so. Because in one commercial I was a chef, one commercial I was a young dad. So I said, all right, look, I don't know, you could talk to my manager about this. So they go have a conversation. Now, unbeknownst to them, the very next day, I was going to Africa for 6 weeks. I was going on safari and gorilla trekking and river rafting in the Zambezi and doing all this kind of stuff. So it didn't matter whether I shaved my mustache or not because I had 6 weeks in Africa to grow back, but we didn't tell them that. So my manager goes back and says, yeah, you're going to have to shave your mustache and they're only going to pay you an extra $75,000 to do it.
75,000?
To shave my mustache.
Did you do it?
Of course I did it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow, 70. Man, I need to.
And then
I
after
could
that,
shave
and then
for
the next
75,000.
group of commercials, they said, it was very funny because, we did the test and they said, it's very funny, but why didn't you get the man from the Federal Express commercial?
Marketing.
So was it? This will be my last question. But you're talking about doing a rice commercial, a Micro Machines commercial, FedEx commercial. Is it ever strange? It's like, okay, I'm the FedEx guy. And also the Micro Machine guy, and also is there ever like
Well,
I'm five guys or?
It's very unusual to get to be five guys.
Yeah.
The most I ever was at one time was 3 guys, and that was the Minute Rice and Micro Machines at Federal Express all ran at the same time. And they all hit different audiences, which was great, because Micro Machines mostly hit the kids on the cartoon shows.
Right.
Minute Rice hit the wives watching TV during the day, and Federal Express mostly ran on sports. So it was, the husband seeing that. So it was great because everyone was different things.
And everybody knows you.
Yeah, well, I went to go do a commercial to a convention one time, And the guys were of a certain age that booked me, and they knew me from the Federal Express commercial. And they, hiding me in the hotel and didn't want anyone to see me because I was a big surprise. So they call me, "All right, we're ready for you. We'll meet you at the elevator." And I come down in the elevator, and all these kids are in the lobby. And these yahoos are like, who's coming down in the elevator? You know who's coming down? The FedEx guy. The kid, who?
Like, what are you
Who?
talking
What?
about?
The who?
What's
No, the
FedEx?
FedEx. The FedEx guy. Who? And then the door opened. They goes, "The micro machines, man!"
That's funny.
And these yahoos are going, "The who? The who?"
Right.
Did they give you a name on that commercial? I don't remember.
No.
You were just.
Federal Express. I was Jim Spleen.
Yeah.
But
Wait, spleen?
Spleen, Jim Spleen. But no, they never gave me. They never gave me a name. I was just the Micro Machines man.
Did they send you a lot of micro machines?
Oh yeah, they sent. I had 9 nephews, so they sent me the entire line every year, and I would just
All those
ship it off to
sisters.
just send it off to my nephews and say, "Have a party."
Yeah.
I mean, I would go through them, and I would keep like a couple of little sets just to have something. But
Any rice, boxes of rice, or
no, I didn't keep any of the minute rice.
no.
No.
God, you could eat for free.
Yeah. None of those. I was on a game show and they said I won 4,000 boxes of rice-a-roni, and that was one of my consolation prizes. I ate a lot of that for a while, but that was that.
Well, we appreciate your time. This is
Yes.
Well,
really
my pleasure.
Listen, we can't pay you $75,000.
Oh, come on. I thought that's what this was all about. You think I'll give this shit away for free?
No, we appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.